So it's Jasmine Brand. I have Carlos King. How are we doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So I have to ask you, we're in LA. Why the move to LA? I saw the announcement on Instagram.
The big announcement?
The big announcement, huh?
I'm in LA because there's a project that I'm working on that I can't disclose just yet. But it's a docu-series about African American women that is running through my production company, Kingdom Rank Entertainment. And I'm excited. It's time for me to branch out, to do my own thing. The cast that I have is amazing. It's unprecedented, to say the least.
Okay.
It's definitely going to change the game for reality television because these women are celebrities.
Okay.
That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
But their stories are so relatable, and it's going to definitely be a great show, for sure.
Can you share the network?
Can't share the network just yet.
Okay.
Because I like to keep my job.
Yeah, I like.
But
we like
but
to
a
keep
press
justice.
release should be released very soon. It's an amazing show. The network is 100% behind the project, and I'm just excited.
What's your title for this show?
I'm the CEO. I'm the executive producer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's through my company, Kingdom Rank Entertainment, and I'm the executive producer of this show. So this show is my first venture with my company, and I partner with Todd Tucker from Housewives of Atlanta. It's through his company, too. We are co-executive producers on this show, and it's just been a great ride so far. It's been good.
So work brought us out.
Work brought me out. I don't have a personal life.
Okay.
It's all work.
Okay, gotcha. So we have to talk Real Housewives of Atlanta. Great. Fantastic ratings.
Thank you. God is good.
Drama and entertainment.
Yeah, it's good to have a mixture of both. You know, for me, when I decided to come back to the show, I really wanted to dig deep into these women's stories. I don't want it to be about the battle of the donkey booty or a friendship contract. I really wanted this season to be, who are these women behind the gates? Who are these women when they're not, on the set of the new normal? Who are these women where they're not at the law office? Who are these women when they're not at home taking care of the children? I really wanted the world to really see these women as raw and as real. And let's talk about some real stories,
Is that why you think this season was so popular?
Absolutely. It wasn't about the fighting that happened because that was with the guys. This season, the moment it started off, episode 1, the ratings increased from there. And the reason why it's been such a groundbreaking season is because we really tap into who these women really are. Because what I discovered is, a lot of people just wanted to know, like, okay, what does Phaedra do outside of the law office, when she's not at the funeral home? What's going on with her and Apollo? Who is really Kenya? Is she this one-dimensional person? So for me, I wanted to make everybody relatable, and a part of that happening was to really talk to these women and to say, look, if your mother doesn't like your fiance, let's talk about it. Let's have an open conversation because a lot of women have husbands or fiancés where their family doesn't approve of them. So I just wanted to really dig deep into their lives, and the success of this season is absolutely because these women showed us who they really were.
What's your title for Atlanta Housewives?
I'm the executive producer of Atlanta Housewives.
Okay, what was most challenging for you this season?
The most challenging thing for me this season was allowing these women to trust me, to trust the process. When you're doing a show for so many seasons as a cast member, you kind of come to work already having a predisposed notion of what's going to happen. You kind of pre-produce yourself. So for me, I had a lot of opportunities where I told these girls, look, there's times where you're not going to know who you're going to film with because that's reality. When you go to the Grove, I don't know who's going to be here.
Right.
So I wanted
popped up somebody on you.
Yeah, like, who knows? Mona Scott Young may come and surprise me. I'm like, hey, girl. But I wanted this season to be real. And the most challenging thing was to get these girls to trust the process, to really say, if Carlos is telling us that we have to really be real and be ourselves, then let's give him that opportunity to do that. And, again, I applaud these girls. It's all about them.
Okay.
It's all about them.
I saw one of your Instagram messages, and you posted that Mona Scott Young, who you
Yes.
just mentioned, had said, I think she said something like you produced the hell out of this season.
Yes. I love Mona. I love Mona.
Well, my question, and then you can
Go ahead.
talk about how you.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go
My
ahead.
question is, what do you still use that she taught you when you were working with her? Like, what do you still use to this day?
You know, working with Mona, I learned a lot in terms of how to really handle yourself when you have to oversee a show from start to finish. You know, prior to that experience, I was a supervising producer and I co-EP Kim Zolciak's wedding special, but I wasn't in control from start to finish. So to learn from her how she really was just honest and real, and she spoke to the talent in a way where they felt comfortable with her, where she's so freaking real and she's honest, and that made the talent, again, it's the first season of a show, so everybody, you know, they're nervous, they don't know what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah.
So with Mona, I learned from her that, you know, be honest with the talent. Let them know that you're comfortable. Let them be comfortable. And she made sure that everybody was equally represented. So I took that knowledge from her and I parlayed that into Housewives this season. So I always tell people all the time, you know, I adore Mona Scott Young. She's an amazing mentor of mine. She's an amazing producer. She's an amazing woman. And honestly, if it wasn't me learning from her, I don't know if I would be able to really, you know, produce this season of Housewives, because I feel like, you know, whatever position you have and whenever you're working with somebody, is God's way of teaching you to learn something from them. So every opportunity that I've had in my career, I take something from it. And I took from Mona that, you know, you go balls to the walls, you work hard, you don't sleep, you really make sure that everybody's represented, you make sure that your brand is great. And I took that lesson and I turned it into the success of Housewives.
Well, that's a big lesson.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing. She's amazing.
Have to ask about what, I mean, you know, obviously you're gonna say whatever you can or you can now. You're comfortable to say the two fights. Well, the one fight this season, pillow talk fight, and then the hilarious gift that we see of you. He's
What?
I see you,
What gift?
No, the gift.
Uh-huh.
Of you on the floor trying to pull. That, did you
I don't
that
know
was
what
funny?
you're talking about.
Okay. Well,
I'm joking. Go ahead.
But what I have to ask you is,
Go ahead.
did you well,
Go
the
ahead.
pillow talk fight? Did you see this build up at all, like from the
No.
beginning of this season? Okay.
No. Listen, as a producer, there are moments where you kind of can't predict what's going to happen, because that's why we're creative. That's why we're producers, because we kind of, again, we see things from start to finish. Like we kind of can predict how things are going to end because we have a relationship with the talent and we know who they are. Pillow talk fight, you could not have told me that there would have been an all-out brawl that happened that evening. We knew that there'll be intense conversations. We knew that there will be some sort of debate because of the different people that was in the room and all the issues that they had to talk about. But never once did I ever predict that would happen. And, you know, it was a moment that was, you know, disappointing on all levels. I was disappointed. The cast was disappointed because, you know, every show has its brand. You know what I mean? I worked on a show where fights happen every week, you know, but that was something that, you know, we understood who those cast members were. I never, ever thought in a million years that the cast of Housewives would ever get into a physical altercation, because that's just not who they are. That's not who they represent. That's not what the show represents. That's not the brand of the franchise. So it was a huge surprise. Like I said, everybody was disappointed. We all are adults. We all know how to have a conversation that we can be entertaining, that can be real, that can, you know, be argumentative, but it's not something where we knew that, oh my gosh, this is going to be, you know, all our brawl. And, you know, everyone apologized for their actions in the mix. Even myself as producer, you know, I represent them and they represent me. And it was an unfortunate incident that happened, but I hope that everyone learned a lesson from it.
Okay, it was good TV though. I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm just saying it was good TV.
Oh, Jasmine.
Okay, sorry, but I mean, it was entertaining. I'm not saying it was right or wrong, but it was,
right.
It had a lot of people talking about it.
For sure.
The alleged fight that happened at the reunion. The clip is out. Did you?
The clip is out. It is out.
The clip is out.
The clip is out.
And
There's a GIF apparently.
The
like
GIF
you said.
of you. The GIF of you under Porsha, trying to grab Porsha.
Yes.
Which is hilarious. Which I want to entertain.
Hilarious.
Your part, I think, is hilarious. Like you, like seeing you. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's Carlos. Like. That was funny to me. But I have to ask you, did you see at all, like, you know how you said the pillow talk, you had no idea. Did you see, maybe starting from first day of filming.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see any throughout the season? Did you see like I could see this happening?
No, because again, if you watch the show from last season to this season, you saw that these two cast members had issues from day one. And you saw moments where they were in each other's faces, be this, be that, boom, 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 boom. And they settled down. They kept it moving. So when that happened at the reunion show, no one predicted that. We all just assumed that, okay, we're going to have another moment where they're going to have an intense conversation. There may be some, finger pointing.
La, la, la.
Never did we think it would get to where it has gotten. And again, I think everybody is again disappointed because no one signed up for that show to be physical with each other, and again, it was a situation where we all looked back and just said, okay, why did this happen? I can't speak too much on it because it hasn't aired just yet, but there's a lot of twist and turn in this reunion show that, you get to see everyone's level of understanding as to why things escalate the way they escalate. And for me, it was an opportunity to have the girls discuss why things happen the way it happened. And it was a great conversation with these 5 black women as to who they are, what they represent, and why things turn out the way they do when someone just feels like they're up against the wall,
Okay.